Good day, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Saunders. And for most of you, if you don't know me and you're watching the live video right now, I'm a healing medium. I've been gifted through a death experience and 25 years of outside help to be where I'm at today. And I put it all together to be able to heal people in many sessions I hold now. And the session that we're going to talk about today, my friend Chris from Ohio reached out to me. He was in pain and suffering. And he took my session, Spirit's Transformational Healing Session. And with this session, what I'm able to actually do is to heal anyone in physical pain, emotional pain, or even mental health challenges. In just one session, 50 minutes of my time has been making huge impacts in people's lives to live the life that we all deserve to live in removing pain and suffering. So thank you, Chris. Welcome for coming on. Thank you for coming on.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's great to be here with you, brother.
Yeah, so me and Chris met online. What was it? Maybe 2 years ago now. When I started putting myself out there, just with wanting to get my message and my story out of the pain and suffering I lived with all my life, and then wanting to give back to help others who are suffering. And I'll just jump into. It was about a year ago when I started doing about a year and a half ago when I actually started doing my live healings where people would come on, connect with me, and I'm able to connect to the highest frequency of energy from where we all come from, God's highest frequency, source energy, some call it. And when I connect with this, the energy runs through me. I'm able to actually amplify it, and then it comes out of my hands and it will connect to anyone in the world. And I do all my sessions through video calling, and they will go through personal experiences that are in the most beautiful way. And Chris will share about that in a little bit with his experience with that. But a year ago, when I was first starting out doing my lives, if you want to just touch on very briefly just what you went through and how that happened for you with the pain you were going through at that time.
Oh yeah, that was my back. Yeah, I was landscaping at the time, and I saw a couple things, that you were doing some healing, and I thought, great, my friend's crazy, and but I'll never forget that. That was amazing. I was sitting on the concrete steps. It was probably 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, and I remember going through Facebook. I'm miserable. My back is just. And I remember seeing you were live and you were doing a session. So I'm like, you know what? Why not? Let me see what he's doing. And I participated, and you didn't necessarily know I was there. I didn't announce myself or anything, but I participated in that, and it was amazing because I'm talking like a flicker, like bang. All of a sudden, that pain was completely gone, disappeared completely. I was in shock. And I was actually over at my parents' house at the time. I remember running inside and telling them, because they were listening to me complain the whole afternoon about how bad it hurt. And I'm laying around, and it was pretty painful, man. And I became a believer right then. Whatever I had, which I did. I had, but yeah, it disappeared right then.
Because you were 3 weeks. I remember you saying you couldn't move out of bed for almost 3 weeks, and then
horrible, man.
So then you had that first experience, and then you became a believer, because it always takes people to have the experience with me to understand what it is I'm actually able to do. And then it led on to you had plantar's fasciitis.
Very good.
Right. So you were suffering with that for 2 years, right? Where you couldn't walk on your feet, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. And then you reached out for one session. And then if you just want to share about how that impacted your life.
Very similarly to the back deal, This time though, I kind of knew I had you there, I knew I could count on you, and I knew you'd be there, and you were. And we did a session, and it's hard for me to go back to that mentally because I'm so current with what we just did, and I know we'll get to that. I can't wait to get to that. But anyways, long story short, I had, again, some instant relief, from something that was really excruciating. When a lot of people suffer from that, or from chronic, pain in their legs or their feet. And when you've got a job like I do, where you're moving around, it's nonstop. I mean, it's short of a death sentence. It really is. It's miserable. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I got instant relief again. I remember this one was more personal, obviously, because you did a session for me.
Yeah.
Remember, just kind of learning to relax and kind of following the things you said. And it took me a few minutes, I think, to really allow that to happen. Like you say things that I wouldn't even think about, like relaxing certain muscles. I didn't even know I wasn't relaxing. But you just do such a good job of helping people focus that mind to muscle and body focus we need to realize how tensed up we really are all the time.
Yeah.
All tense. So that I
Yeah.
remember that in particular because I remember feeling extremely relaxed. And when it was over, I was laying down, I think, when we did that. I know I was sitting up. I was sitting up, eyes closed, and I stood up and I walked, and it was awesome. I was walking pain free, and
Yeah.
I tears in my eyes. I was so full of gratitude. I
Yeah.
still am.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, really amazing,
Yeah.
man. Really
And
amazing.
that, and then you reached out. You wrote a post, and this one is more. Well, it's not more severe, but it
Yeah,
was a very severe and terrifying
yeah.
issue for you in this new one. And what did I tell you when you reached out and you posted my name on that post, and you said, can you use your powers or gifts, Jeff, to help
Yeah,
me? And I'm like, of course, of course.
absolutely.
So
Whenever
so
you're ready, that's what you told me. Whenever you're ready.
yeah. So then when we
Mhm.
booked our session, what did I tell you? I told you, now it's been a year. I've
Yeah,
grown a
yeah,
lot.
I've learned a lot. Yeah, I've
I've
grown and I've
learned
gotten
a lot in a
stronger.
year. I've gotten a lot
Yeah,
stronger with what I've been doing with the being great beings of light or elders to teach
mhm,
me even further to do more with my healing abilities to be able to heal people.
right.
But I guess if you want to just let people know what you were suffering with.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. This one, and this one's hard. This one has had the potential to be really, really horrible. Basically, I had to go in yesterday to undergo a colonoscopy, and I'm too young for that, by the way. Um, I think as guys, we're not supposed to have that check until we're 50. Um, Severity of that and the scariness of that falls in line with, colon cancer is the number 2 killer in America behind lung cancer.
Mm,
So when you experience what I did, which, I had a hernia surgery over the summer, just a small hernia, no big deal. Got it while moving stuff, was pain free, but got it fixed. Um, and when you have a hernia, it changes the way you go to the bathroom. you,
mm,
you know, you don't put a lot of effort into it because you have a hernia.
yeah,
Um, During that time, just coincidentally, something developed, down low for me, lower bowel, I guess you could call it. I don't know, lower
yeah,
intestine,
yeah,
and it started to grow and restrict my ability to go to the bathroom, and that's scary. That's a scary feeling because once you start looking into that, you realize, wow, we grow these little, we all grow these little pieces of tissue inside there called polyps, and if caught in time, they can cut them off, no big deal. If they grow large enough, they can be cancerous. And then it's funny because I even posted that. I said, I 9 out of the 10 things it could be are okay, but there is one that's not. And of course, I thought about that. I have
yeah,
2 kids. I have a life that I love. I've got a wonderful family and friends and some great things coming down the road here. Of course, I thought about that. So this one was hard for me, but I immediately thought about you. I was like, I got to reach out to Jeff. I felt selfish even doing it. I'll be totally honest. I really did.
no,
I knew you'd be there. And so that's what it was.
yeah.
And the, shit, yeah, we,
Well, and
yeah,
then, when I do these sessions, when I do my spirits transformational healing session, like I believe I said earlier, this is for anything physical, emotional, or mental health challenges. They're not illnesses, they're challenges that we need to overcome. And I have the ability to heal people with mental health challenges because I don't have any anymore in my life, because I've been shown and taught through our higher beings of light that have put me through the process, and now I don't suffer in any way, shape, or form, and I just give back to people. Plus, when I do these sessions, which you're going to describe for people to let people know, I actually connect you to your soul's consciousness. I remove you from the consciousness of your mind and have you feel and understand the being of light of who you are in your physical body. When I do that, I allow the light to connect through me, and it connects to the person. And I put them in a nice relaxed state on their bed at home, so they're nice and comfortable in their own space at home for this session that is very personal with each person that I've had it for. People go through different experiences, but it's in the most beautiful way of going through the experience of what they're going to go through. So it's a very deep spiritual awakening on truth for you to go through that personal experience. So on top of what I'm actually healing, I'm actually removing a lot of blockages in your life that have been holding you back to your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, where you didn't have clarity in your life before, or not as clear, or you had struggles. And I'm able to remove it. It's all energy that I'm gifted to see. And I actually remove it from people by healing it. I heal. That's what I do. I heal everything. So if you want to share how it started for you and what you started to feel with your experience, with what you thought, felt, and sensations, whatever it is you want to share about.
Yeah, sure. And I got to go back to the beginning, which is, Jeff, I can't tell you I understand how you're doing what you're doing. I know who you give credit for it. I know where you give that, and I know you give that, and it's a given ability, and I believe that with all my heart. I really do. I felt. I don't know how you do it though. I mean, I hear you talk about it. It's so beyond my mind right now. But what I do know is this: I know it works. I know it's worked for me 3 times. I know the other night, I guess I was more expecting what we did the second time with my feet. I was kind of expecting. I wasn't at all. I would have never guessed, what would happen did. But let's start with just the atmosphere. How comfortable that is when you're going through a healing session with somebody, and they can put you in that comfortable of a scenario to where you're literally melting through your mattress. That's what it feels like. You've got your eyes closed, and the light around you, you can feel it moving and changing, and there's just weird things going on outside your eyelids. It's hard to explain. You'd almost have to go through it to understand what I'm talking about. But it's definitely noticeable. It's not something that that I dreamt up. It's not something that I was looking for. It's what happened, and I just felt a peace. I felt a peace come over me. I was so relaxed. Um, the visual things. I remember my mind just kind of going back and forth to different thoughts, and they weren't even thoughts that I was having. Just weird stuff, nothing bad, just totally random, just different things. And then you did such a good job of keeping me in that place by reminding me to focus on my breathing. And you do a really good job of that, of keeping people engaged. It's hard. If you don't know what's going on and you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, it's hard to focus on that. So I give you a lot of credit there, because you seem to have a good knack of pulling people in right there. As it went on, dude, I don't know if I've ever been more comfortable and more at peace with everything. I'm talking my life, um, just the outcome, and just trusting, maybe for the first time in this whole experience, maybe that's what it was for me. It was, first time I could fully trust that, I was going to be able to stay a dad, and it was okay to put my faith there, and it was pretty powerful, man. It was awesome. Um, I don't know if you want me. You can explain the angel part, but that was amazing. I had some physical contact that I'll never forget. Jeff told me what would happen, and it did. I felt it, and it wasn't. Again, I wasn't tricked into it. It wasn't some weird thing. It was was absolutely incredible, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it, man. I'm forever grateful because it was an amazing experience. Um, I walked out of that. I got up after the session, and I knew everything was going to be okay, you know. And I think before we got on, I was telling you, you know, I went to the hospital yesterday, and I'm literally falling asleep, you know, in this tense, worrisome place I was at, right? Which I'm no
Yeah.
longer in. I wasn't in. I was so
Yeah.
comfortable, I was just falling asleep. I'm talking before the surgery. I'm waiting for doctors to come in and talk to me, and I'm falling asleep. That's how
Yeah.
at home I was, and that was a result of that night, because that night made me feel at home with myself and with the whole situation, and that's probably the best way to put that, is I felt like I was at home with it. It was okay,
Yeah.
and I knew it was going to be
And
okay.
and then I will share about the Archangel, but the biggest part is the
Yeah,
next day them not finding anything from the specialist and you not
yeah,
having no more pain, no more
right.
constriction in that area,
Yeah,
completely gone.
yeah, amen. It's all true. Yeah, it's facts, man. They this thing I was able to feel from the very beginning where it was located, and it was pretty low. Um, and they were able to get past that point and then some, and nothing there so far. So yeah, there's clean bill there. There's nothing going on, and
Yeah.
I'm feeling much better at home physically. I'm not having any issues.
Yeah.
I'm back to normal, and
Yeah.
I have no other way to explain that aside from that hour, half hour that we spent together. And
Mhm.
dude, I can't thank you enough. I mean it. I know we're
Yeah.
talking. I know I've thanked you, but I want you to know how much I appreciate what you do, all the time you spend, all the effort you put into it, all the sacrifices you make. I brought it up the other night, you know, that I'm sure there's people out there that say dumb things to you. And of course, you said, no, not really. You know, they probably look at your profile and see that you're like 6'5", 320 pounds. And they think, you know, I'm kidding. But
Yeah. No, thank you. No, that's very, very kind. And I've been lucky and
absolutely.
blessed that way, where for whatever reason, I rarely ever get anything. For the
Yeah.
most part, it's people that know me and they followed me for quite some time.
Right.
So they know when I'm putting myself out there talking about such severe issues that we go through of suffering and pain, and I share about my life, it just proves how open and honest I am. So then
hmm
when now I'm getting these testimonies, which I'm so grateful for you to even, you're the one who's like, no, we're doing a Facebook Live. I'm doing
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
Facebook
Yeah.
Live
I
with you
did.
for
Yeah.
this one,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Yeah.
and I'm getting
I
more
did.
and more people now because I removed the fears and whatnot that they want to do a testimony because of their experience like none else, that they want to give back to another person for me to be able to
Absolutely.
do what I'm gifted to do, to go
Yeah.
through the experience I'm able to do of healing, plus
Yeah.
the deep spiritual awakening on the
Mhm.
deepest level, where I can connect to the very high frequencies of energy. And I had a death experience, my last one 3 years ago, and I was dead for 4 minutes before coming back to my body. And then I was given all these gifts. So I've been growing because I'm able to physically see the beings of light that people can't see, because I'm looking through the body of energy that lives within me. I'm now looking through that since I come back to my body. So I'm
Right.
seeing out of the being of within my body. I'm not even within my mind anymore, the consciousness. I'm through the being of light of who I am. So I can see and do the work I'm doing to fulfill my purpose with what I'm supposed to do. So
Yeah.
when I do that, what I've been growing with is when I'm talking about being of lights, or the higher beings of lights, you know, I work with archangels, many of them that I can physically see, and they work with me. So I actually bring one of them, I bring in a couple sometimes depending on what I'm doing, but Archangel Michael, I bring him in, and their energies away that are always around us. And if you're an empath and sometimes you feel that brush, like something is there, but you can't see it, I assure you, there's beings of light always constantly walking around us, just observing and being around. And so I use him for protection. I had you tell me how
Yeah.
much you're like, oh my God, I've always liked Archangel Michael. I'm like, well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll put you in for a
Especially
treat. I'll
Michael.
give you a treat then.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm able to do, because one of the archangels is a part of my class, and I have it once a month, Divine Light Energy, and I teach people And believe me, when I talk and share about this, I always tell every person they are perfect for who they are. I'm not doing anything with your belief system. I'm not doing anything with religion. I'm not doing anything with any of that stuff. And I tell each person, you're perfect for who you are. Just trust how you feel. Because I live through my soul's consciousness, I understand it. So I teach it. So when we become present in the moment where our consciousness lives, and I get people to breathe and understand, focusing, being present, and then aligning to just feeling their energy within their hand, now you're one with your soul's consciousness. Now you can feel more so the energies around you. So what I do, and I had one other a really good friend of mine, I hope she does a video. I'm not saying that just because I know she might watch this, but if she does, because she had the experience as well.
Oh, did she? Nice, nice.
Yeah, so he comes and he rubs and touches your hand, right? With whatever it is, and you felt his presence with his hand touching your hand.
I felt a very exact, precise. I mean, I'm talking. This is what I felt. Right, I had palms down, so my hand's on the mattress.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down on my bed, so there's no way nothing above my hand. Right. I felt this. That's what I felt. I mean, it was totally obvious. It was incredible. I mean, I told you that. I told you that night, man. It brought tears to my eyes. You know, to know that I had that kind of connection.
Yeah.
With an angel that's always meant a lot to me. You know, I've always, like I told you, I always pictured Michael as this big rough warrior. You know, and so just to know that I could have had that kind of contact was pretty awesome.
And we all can, and this is the point to my class.
Yeah.
My Divine Light or my Divine Light Energy class is 4 simple steps that I teach people. One is learning to be present in the moment and how to do that. The second one is understanding your body of energy within your physical body. So I get you to shift and understand, I get you to understand how to get to that state, and then to shift your own body of energy within your physical body. Then when you understand who you are, then it's learning to ground yourself. Step number 3, super simple. And then step number 4 is just learning to raise with a procedure I have put together, very simple, to raise our energy to the higher levels of energy. So and then with our creator, God, source, whatever a person chooses to use, connecting to allow his light to run through your body. And I put them through the most beautiful experience through a guided meditation I do.
Yeah.
And then I'm teaching them how to, when you connect to him and allow the light to run through you of the highest frequency of energy, it then will come out of your hands and it will instantly connect to anyone in the world, just like cell phone to cell phone frequency of energy we cannot see through that vibration. It works the exact same way. And then the students in my class are healing one another, going through experience, not just healing when I do this, like a person to take my session, they don't need to be suffering in severe ways. They could be living the most beautiful life and they will still benefit because I will guide them through the most beautiful experience and then also remove a few blockages that will then give them more clarity over their life, to feel more at peace with their purpose, to understand living their life for the rest of their life moving forward. So it doesn't have to be anyone just severely suffering in some way. Anyone can take it and go through like you did. Besides the suffering, you had the most beautiful experience with the light running through you.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for
of
sure.
Energy.
It was awesome. It's just something you can never adequately explain to somebody unless you got to go through it. And my hope is for anybody that's watching, some of this stuff is hard to talk about. It's not easy to put yourself out there. It's especially, even though Jeff's a great guy, that could seem a little bit intimidating, and I get that. But I would urge you to really dig deep and really make a commitment to trusting him, because you can. You can absolutely trust what he's telling you. He really lives to serve and to help people. I mean, that's this guy's life's purpose at this point, and it's beautiful. And I've watched him grow. He's become a really good friend of mine, and just anybody out there that's on the fence, and maybe you've been wanting to reach out to him and you've just kind of held back because it was or you felt it was too insignificant or something like that. I would maybe encourage you to send him a message, consider it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, right?
Not to live in fear. Don't live in fear. And I tell people, even sometimes when they don't have a ton of money, I have different options. I have, like, how can you afford to pay me then? Okay, that's how you need to set it up over 3 months. Fine. My purpose is to heal. I love healing people, but what my value of what I do is worth way more to instantly heal people like I can. It's worth way
Oh,
more,
yeah.
but I don't look at it like that.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
I just love doing what I do. When I have someone reach out to me, it's the greatest feeling for me to know I get to impact someone's life with what the gifts and abilities I've grown with. And
Right,
I'll
right.
constantly spend my life growing with more and more things so I can give back more and more,
Man.
because that's what fills me up, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Live a beautiful life for myself. That's just my
Yeah,
purpose. And
absolutely.
we're all, not one of us is better than the other. We are all equal.
Mhm.
For me, it's just I've done the work over 25 years of healing my life to completely remove all the pain and suffering, now living through the being of light with the gifts and abilities I have. And we are all the same. We all are special. We all have something to offer if we do the work. But a lot of people, they don't, unfortunately, want to do the work to heal their past. They think
Amen.
it's nothing, and they sweep it under the rug, and it's going to continue their life in holding them back to the greater things. So
Yeah,
my purpose is to prove and show, as I continue to live my life, is like, I've done all this work. Look how my life is going. Like,
right.
I'm trying to show you I can actually, heal
Yeah,
you
yeah.
to live your best life, right? To feel the fulfillment of your life.
Jeff,
So,
I think another part of it too, man, is I think a lot of people get caught up in just thinking there's no way it can be that easy, you know?
yeah,
And honestly, I think a lot of people
yeah,
think that way. They think,
yeah.
well, this can't work, it's just too easy. What's the catch? You
I
know,
know,
kind of thing.
I know.
And what's crazy is that it's here and it's available to us and it works
Yeah,
and you're here, and
yeah.
I hope that one person sees this and reaches out to you. That's I hope that for you and
Yeah,
more importantly
yeah,
for them, because
yeah,
there's somebody out there hurting that doesn't need to be.
yeah,
You got something going on. You don't necessarily have to live with that. Let it
yeah,
go.
yeah,
If you can't, Jeff's here to help. Get with
yeah.
him. He'll help
If,
you with it.
believe me, it wasn't easy for me. you know 12
Amen.
past suicides or suicide attempts and a death from my last one that completely changed my life, from suffering of my mind, depression, anxiety. I don't suffer with any illness. Bipolar, I was told, and taking medications the doctor's thrown at me. I don't need anything anymore, and I can instantly change someone's life. No matter what is holding them back, I can impact each person's life if they just reach
Right.
out to me.
And you got,
This is
yeah,
what I love to do.
yeah, amen, brother.
you know
Well, I know we're all
awesome.
grateful. My kids, my family, myself, we appreciate you. We love you. And can't thank you enough, man. Sincerely.
Yes, and the person who reaches out to me because you decided to force me to go live, you know, will
I
thank
told you, man, that
me as
thing, if
well.
I did.
All
I
right,
said, man,
thank
that
you.
thing's on, dude. We're going live. And
Yeah.
here we are.
So,
So, yeah, you're
like
welcome.
this one video, if it reaches one person to believe to reach out to me because you decided to do this to impact someone's life for the rest of their life, just to
Amen.
book one session with me, that's the greatest thing for me too, is just helping at least one person. If we
Yep.
help more, that's beautiful, but changing one person's life is such a beautiful gift to give back. So
Amen, brother.
awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much for forcing me to come on to do what I love to do.
Yeah. Hey,
I
yeah,
don't
you're
have too
welcome.
many people. want to like force me. Yeah. But
Right, right.
I,
That was
yeah.
fun.
Awesome. And if someone that finds value and someone who's suffering in any way, shape, or form, just please share my video, even to send it to their inbox to help change and shift their life, in many ways. All they have to do is reach out. I'll connect and see what their issue is, and I'll let them know what I can do for them. And it will be this one session. I promise you, this one session I'm doing is taking off, and it's taking off huge. And I'm so grateful for my life to be able to give back to each person who does reach out to me. This is why I'm here, and I love my life to do what I can do. So thank you, Chris, and thank
Amen,
you
brother.
for
Thank you.
friends who are watching. Truly appreciate your support always. For the people who do support me, I love each and every one of you, and I hope everyone has a great night. Am I still alive? I think still alive. I haven't done this in a while. Okay, stop live. Okay, goodbye, everyone.